Hey, y'all, listen, we got a letter, honey. We got a letter, honey. This is someone's real reality, honey. Listen, she said her daddy is batshit crazy. Honey, she said her daddy is batshit crazy. Do you hear me? All right, y'all, listen, I got a good one. I got a good one for y'all today. So stay tuned. Hey y'all, it's Bernita Rochele, and welcome to my spoken word and conversations, honey. And we got to help her. She came up, oh God. And remember, I don't be telling y'all names or nothing like that. I'm just reading your stories. That's it, honey. She said, I am a 45-year-old melanemic woman. My dad is irrational, obnoxious, unreasonable, illogical, baseless, and unsound. Honey, that's what she said. I have siblings, but they don't want to have anything to do with his ashtray. Lord, woo. I really don't want to deal with him myself, but he is still my father, honey. Oh, he is in his 70s. I forgot to tell you that. My siblings can't stand him. They can't stand being around him because he was never a good person towards them. He didn't even like it. Wait, he didn't even like us when we were kids. Hell, I don't even know if he liked us as adults, honey. Woo! This is deep. But now he needs us. He needs me. What should I do? Honey? Woo! Y'all, let me do this quick thumbnail. All right, y'all, listen here. Do you hear that? We got to help her. Woo, it sounds like somebody that we all see right now in action, honey. Let me tell you something. Just because his name is Daddy, that does not mean you got to put up with his shenanigans. Honey, listen, you don't have to put up with his shenanigans. Why do you think that? Just because it says daddy, because it says mama, because it says family, because it says cousins, because it says brothers, sisters? No, honey, you don't have to put up with it. You don't, but I'm gonna try to give you both sides, okay? But you be like, the man didn't have me, let me help him. But sometimes they be batshit crazy, and sometimes you gotta let them go, honey. And sometimes you got to do what you got to do. If you don't got no other help, you have to do what you have to do. And I'm gonna give you an example of me because it made me think of me and my father, okay? And it made me think of me and my father because he said he had these other kids, but I never seen these other kids, okay? So therefore, everything was on me. Okay, I had to get him, and oh my God, I love my daddy. We had a great relationship. I'm not saying that my relationship was nothing like this, but in those last days, it got a little different, and I think that's because, the transitioning was probably taking place, and then, he had dementia. He had a slight dementia, but it was coming on strong. Okay, some days I would come up in there. And I would be like, who am I getting today? Like, who am I? Dad, how are you? And you can tell when they are in their demented states because their eyes look like, they look bugged. They be like this. You can tell they don't look like they slept or anything like that. So I would know. I could know when he was peaceful, and it would act up at night. Okay, this is fact. I lived in this, so I don't know if that's what your daddy had, but I know we seeing it in full force with different peoples right now. Okay, so I can understand that, and like I said, you don't have to, but you can make him comfortable, let him be comfortable, and That's what you have to do. Just let them be comfortable. But just because it's say your parents and your family, sometimes your family be the one that be driving you crazy. And them parents sometimes can. But you think about how they protected you. Your situation is a little bit different here. And back to the siblings, you see how they don't have to deal with that, especially when you were not kind to them. If he wasn't kind to you, if he wasn't kind to them, and they saw how he did others, people don't want that around their kids, because we were taught as family, you stick with family. Your family, let me not even go there. I ain't trying to talk about nobody. I'm just giving you these examples, real life experiences. On this channel, you get real life experiences, relationships for the mature conversations that need to be had, enlightening conscious awareness and breaking generational curses, honey. So I ain't talking about nobody. I'm just telling you what I see, and sometimes you have to get your piece. I'm a kind of talk about how I was listening to the Woke Gordon. I like listening to her channel, and she was talking about family too, and they be thinking like you supposed to do this. No. And you want to raise your kids, so you want to be kind to your kids. You want to be kind to your kids. You want to be kind to others, because you never know when you may need them. Some people get so high. That they think they don't need you. And I do understand that sometimes you find your peace. You find a peace where you do not have to deal with that. Once you get into your, you've had your counseling, you come into your awakening, you ain't being mean or disrespectful to anyone, but when you find your peace, you learn how to deal with it. So with your dad and how I dealt with that, because I was the only one, and it sounds like you are too, I got him here. And I took care of him as long as I could here in my home until, the dementia would come in and he would get combative. Like I wasn't used to my daddy being like that, and I can understand where you're coming from, because once your parent get combative, and it's a whole nother thing, because you're not used to that. I remember one time, baby, I think I told this story before. My daddy was it was him and a lady. They were the only melanin people in this nursing home, honey. And my daddy, he couldn't see, his vision had started going away, right? I think he couldn't see, but I think that he could see shadows. And so what this melanemic man had did, my daddy, they had like a little hallway where you roll down, but you can use a little rail. That's how he had got so used to the nursing home, and they would roll. And so my daddy knew the man's voice. He knew he was white, because he don't leave black men up in, melanin man up in there. And so the melanemic man pops my daddy. Now my daddy say he can't see, but my daddy got hold to that man. Baby, that's all I know. Baby, them nursing homes be going down, honey. They be going down. But you don't sit up there and do that. He didn't care. Let me get back to your daddy, man. They called me. They was like, your dad just hit. I said, well, my daddy ain't just hit somebody just to hit somebody. That is not how he is. Okay. So what happened? I roll up on her. I'm like, Daddy, what happened? So then I didn't got off the phone with the lady. I'm like, Daddy, what happened? And then he was like, well, he sat up here and said he called me, and because it's been some years, right? My daddy came up here in 2014. Through 2010. He passed away in 2014. And so that's what it was. The man called him the N word because the man could see. But my dad couldn't. But I'm telling y'all, my daddy could see like he had to see shadows. He had to see someone. One that day, if he couldn't see, he saw that, and he was like, he said, when he said that, he was like, "What you say?" Then he grabbed the man. Baby, it was on because I had to come up in there and see. Man, they was trying to take my daddy to the jail. This is how crazy it can be. So I can imagine that if your dad is acting like that, was acting like that towards y'all, and he is still obnoxious, unreasonable, irrational. That could be the case. I don't know, but it sounds like that is, honey. Sometimes, you got to do what you got to do to make things work for you. Okay. But anyway, y'all, that's it. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. So I hope that helps you. Okay. That's all I can give you. Remember, I'm not a counselor, but I can tell you my life experiences, what I experienced. Okay. Well, listen, y'all. That's it. That was someone's real reality, honey. That's somebody's real reality, honey. That stuff be going down and people be lying and stuff. But anyway, y'all, thank you to my new ones and thank you to my day ones. Y'all been riding with a girl and I'm so grateful. Well, that's it. That's all for me today, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Peace. Hey y'all, it's Bernita Rochele and welcome to my spoken word and conversations. Hey y'all, it's Bernita Rochele and welcome to my spoken word and conversations